Here are 6 things you will regret ignoring in 10 years. 1. Follow a resistance training routine consistently. When we think of losing muscle as we age, we tend to think of old men. But sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, begins in your mid-30s, starting at a rate of 1 to 2% a year, and can go up to 3% a year in our 60s. What this means is that on average, adults who don't do regular strength training can expect to lose 4 to 6 pounds of muscle per decade. So if you don't want to lose size, strength, lose your independence and have trouble with everyday activities as you get older, then it's imperative you strength train. Because if you don't use your muscles, you'll lose your muscles. And bodyweight training I think is ideal. It takes little time, there's a smaller chance of injury, and you don't need much space or even an expensive gym membership. 2. Train power. This is related to muscle loss, but we lose fast-twitch muscles faster than slow-twitch muscles. While strength is lost at 1.5% a year on average, power drops at a rate of 3.5%. So it's extra important to do some explosive work when you train for as long as you can. Unbiased to boxing, and heavy bag work is a great option. You can do exercises like jump squats and plyometric push-ups, they train your fast-twitch muscles. And even jump rope trains explosiveness in your lower body muscles. 3. Train your conditioning. Besides losing muscle, our aerobic capacity also decreases with age. Our hearts pump less blood and our lungs work less efficiently. And this happens at about a rate of 10% per decade. Mitochondria, the power plants of our cells, are reduced in number and efficiency. This all obviously affects endurance. Strength training helps with this as well, but adding some extra conditioning is even better. Low intensity work, like daily walking, for me is non-negotiable. And complementing that with high intensity work drives adaptations that no amount of low intensity work will do. You don't have to do hours of running or cycling if that isn't your thing, but try some high intensity interval training in whatever exercise form you prefer. And as an extra reason to train your conditioning, a study concluded that VO2 max was the strongest predictor of future life expectancy. 4. Balance. 1 in every 3 adults over the age of 65 fall each year. Whether that's from walking downstairs, over uneven surfaces, or tripping over something. So improving balance and coordination is very important to do. Unilateral training is great because it can develop strength, mobility and balance, sometimes all in one exercise. Jumping rope is a great drill to do as it helps develop strong feet and ankles. And brushing my teeth on one leg was the drill my physical therapist had me do after suffering some lower body injuries. Conclusion: if you develop stronger muscles and train your balance, you're less likely to fall. And if you do fall, those muscles act like an armor, so you're less likely to sustain serious injuries. 5. Mobility. This shouldn't come as a surprise, but as we age we get stiffer, joints start to hurt and reaching overhead becomes a problem. According to Harvard Medical, flexibility in the hips and shoulders go down at 6 degrees per decade from the ages of 55 to 85. And nearly 20% of older adults have difficulty reaching above their heads. And over half have problems bending down and picking something up. So don't neglect your mobility. The deep squat hold is one of the best exercises for lower body mobility. Stretching our hip flexors is great since we all tend to sit too much. Shoulder pass-throughs help with upper back and shoulder mobility. Spend a few minutes a day on any of these and you'll be glad you did. 6. Nutrition. As we age, we lose muscle and increase in body fat, which is a wonderful combination. And being inactive is obviously part of that, but so is nutrition. Nutrition can be an entire course in itself, but most of us know what a healthy food looks like. Cutting out or at least reducing the number of sugary drinks, alcoholic drinks, and ultra-processed foods from a diet is a very good starting point. Eating slow and mindful, and eating until you're full, not completely stuffed, is a good habit to develop as well, unless you're trying to gain weight. Anyway, to quickly recap, don't ignore these 6 qualities. Resistance training, add some power exercises, train your conditioning, some unilateral exercises, work on your mobility, and eat healthy. And then your future self will be thankful. We can't beat Father Time, but there's plenty we can do to hopefully enjoy a healthy, active lifestyle well into our golden years.